Hey guys, Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. And sorry about the background noise. They're mowing the yard at the ranch next door. But anyway, you saw the video, the title, okay, changing out my macerator. So, well, wait a minute. Am I changing it out? Am I getting something new? What's a macerator? What is that? Well, let me tell you real quick, all right? A macerator is a 12-volt poop grinder. It takes, just like the macerator in your sink in the kitchen. Put all the food in there and you turn it on, and then you can put it down the sink. Same thing. If you launch aircraft carriers down a pipe, like they have forever, you know what that's about. Did you watch the movie with Robin Williams, RV? Remember that? Remember when he went to go dump and all the people were sitting there in their chairs waiting to see what would happen? And remember what happened? Okay? You know, the dump station is not where you want to mess up. Makes sense. So, macerator came into being. Basically what you're doing is you're hooking up this poop grinder to the back of your holding tank, and then you're shooting your stuff, you're praying it up, and you're shooting it through a 1-inch pipe. Very civil. Almost don't get nasty with your hands. It's a great thing. Okay. Well, this coach, JG, Jim was way ahead of his time. 15 years ago, he had a macerator on his coach. Jim called me and stuff when he was, hey, Lovey. 15 years ago when I was at Glasgow, he would call me and we would talk different things, and he put this macerator in. Now, I've been using it for 15 years. And, you know, if something's working, you don't change it. Well, at the co-op, we did all kinds of interesting macerator things, but you know, honestly, I never had time to do it myself. You saw, there's a video on holding tanks about macerators. You saw we were on a 4-post lift, and that's the way to do something like this. But if you don't have a 4-post lift, which the ranch doesn't have a 4-post lift, we're going to be going diver down on my back. And that's about the way most of you guys are going to do it. So let's talk about doing that, all right? Well, first, I say I'm gonna replace my macerator. Am I gonna put a cartridge toilet in? Am I gonna put in one that burns it? Well, to be honest with you can't burn gray water. And they don't really let you dump gray water, you know, dishes and brushing your teeth and stuff, on the side of the road anymore. You have to put it in a sewer. So if you use a regular toilet that dumps into a tank, and then you macerate it, and then you can blow it into a sewer, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, guys that use the other ways to get rid of your poop, I'm okay with it. But what I'm going to do is the conventional way. And when we get under here, I'm going to show you all the different pieces and what's going on under there, what he did, and what I'm getting ready to do. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do. Oh, by the way, I had to make a bike rack for Janie's bike, and one of the components in the sewer dump system is a piece of 2-inch pipe, PVC pipe. So I used the 2-inch PVC pipe to hold it up. This is a 4-inch square plastic fence post. Got the ends on it too, isn't that cute? So anyway, there's Janie's bike rack, and I used the rest of this, 8 feet of it, will be used in the with the macerator. All right. Now, first thing you're gonna do, use your air ride system, and jack the coach up as high as you can get it, reasonably. Now, you're going to go under there. You never go under a coach without backup. Like if you're going to jack it up, you'll put jack stands, right? You see, I jack up the air ride system, but I got a concrete block under the bumper right there. That if something does happen, I mean, if the air ride system goes to leak, then I can get out of there. Now, you say get out of there quick. Well, you know, adrenaline would make you go quick. But basically, when you go under there and you don't have a creeper, which I don't have, I have a poor man's creeper. That'd be this is actually a zip D awning fabric. It works out great. But anyway, you take your elbows and you rub your way out back in there. But if you had to get out of there quick, that's a hard thing to do. So what you do, and I always talked about doing this, said, you know, if you're gonna go down a rabbit hole, you want to tie a rope to your foot. Well, this sounds kind of silly, but you do want to take a rope down there with you, because after you do all your stuff, you can arch your back and just pull yourself back out. And if you had to get out quick, believe me, you'd find a way to do that really quick. I'm talking about having to do this on your back in your driveway, which, you know, this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing here. So you want to do these things. Now, one other thing, you want to unplug, if you're plugged into power, you want to unplug it. You say, why? Well, think about this a minute. You've got 3 connections in your AC power plug to the wall. You've got a hot, you've got a neutral, and you have a ground. Okay? Now, if you're laying on the concrete and you're sweating a little bit, you might present a quicker ground than the ground on your outlet, and you might just get a little shock. There's a difference between ground and neutral in your house of about 6.5 volts. That's the difference in true ground and ground in the plug. So there was a rule at the co-op: if you're plugged in, don't lick the frame. Make sense? So if we're going to be under here and we may elbow something or whatever, unplug. Don't have any AC power. DC power doesn't matter, but don't be plugged in somewhere. Don't run your generator or anything. Just don't have any AC going to it, and we won't have a problem. That makes sense? Okay. All right, well look, I tell you what, I'm gonna go down. Once you go around to the other side, you can come down here with me, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. Here you go. Come on in. All right. Here we are. All right, so we're in here right now. I'm hoping I've got this thing adjusted well. Okay. You can see here that we've got the original macerator that he put in right here. Okay? Right there. He's got a bracket. He comes off over here, off the original holding tank, comes into a gate valve, comes off the gate valve into the macerator, and then out that pipe right there. You can see right there. Comes out of the macerator, makes a 90, and comes out of the side just under the generator. Well, you know, the problem with that is, see that little cap on there? That means that you have to have a separate hose to connect up to it. I bet you there's a lot of you guys that are the same way. You have a separate hose that has to connect to it that's up in here somewhere, and you don't want to touch it or anything like that because it's pretty nasty. So you hook it up to there and do your business. And we at co-op, we did something a little different. Now, the video that I did on the 4-post lift talks about what we're going to do. Now I'm going to put in this new macerator pump, which, by the way, this is a 2-inch outlet right here. Okay, this comes for a 3-inch. It reduces down to a 2-inch. Now they have some of these that have a 3-inch inlet on it. The problem with a 3-inch inlet, if you lose suction, the motor cavitates. In other words, this thing has to be full, and it has to be full all the way to here where the rotor is, or it'll pump air. So if you reduce it down and come off the bottom of it like this, that makes sense? Come off right at the bottom of it like this, it will have all the liquid go in all the way down, and it'll suck as much as possible until it'll blow out. Make sense? All right, well, that's what we're going to end up doing. Hooking right up to here. This is a Furno fitting, and then there's a screw on right here. So we're going to be taking this loose, hooking the macerator up here. But then what we're going to do is we're going to use this flexible, clear, reinforced tubing. Okay? So you can see the chili contest while it's coming out. Makes sense? All right, now we're going to hard mount this to right there. Okay? Now, you see this PVC pipe? Hang on a minute, let me get this out of here. You see this PVC pipe right here? Now we're going to take this pipe and we're going to run it up the frame right there for a holster to put the hose in, so we don't have to disconnect it over there at the end, and the hose will be held in this holster, this sleeve. Does that make sense? So we'll be taking all of that other stuff out, and we'll be putting this stuff in here. Okay. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end this episode, and then I'll put all this stuff in, and we'll go to episode 2. You'll see it in place. Okay? Makes sense? All right. Well, look, man, thank you for hanging out. This is going to be a little quick one, but I think the end result on this, I think you'll really like it. We've put a lot of these in over the years. I'm sure that several of you probably have something similar to this. All right. Well, look, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. And if you think this is any good, you know, go to the Patreon and join up and be a ranch hand. I would have really appreciated it. And it's for everybody. This video will, I hope, help you put in your own macerator without a lot of trouble and do it yourself. I've got about $70. Well, the macerator is about $100, but I have about $70 in the pipe and the hose. So this is not an expensive proposition. A little bit of labor, okay? But I think you'll enjoy the outcome of this. All right? Well, look, thanks a lot again, and we'll see you on episode 2. All right.